Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. It's nice to see the attendee list. Lots of familiar names and friends out there. So really excited to launch this month's edition of our Consensus webinar series. We've got Hannah Carey that's joined us today, and Hannah's been our one of our most esteemed consultants on our Consensus team, and she's spent time preparing the webinar to show you the HANA Dashboards, KPIs. I feel personally the dashboards and the KPIs are like one of the most important tools, one of the most powerful tools that we have here that SAP Business One offers. So welcome, Hannah. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How are you, Greg?
Great, great. Thanks for all your work getting things ready. I know this is a really important topic. Again, I think it's one of the unsung heroes of SAP Business One, the ability to present information to you in a usable fashion that's you don't have to churn through data or things, so you can customize these and then design them to fit your needs is a really, really important feature that just presents you that information. It can provide you with vital statistics on various topics that I'm sure you're gonna cover today. So the other thing that we're going to do today with this presentation is we'll give you the overview of the HANA dashboards and the KPIs, how to set up some standard out-of-the-box KPIs that you have. We're going to create some of your own, give you the ability to empower you to create some of your own personalized dashboards to give you the tools to get started with creating your own KPIs and dashboards. We're certainly here to assist you. So as you after this webinar, you want to go out and be enabled and empowered to go out and create your own KPIs and dashboards, and you get a little frustrated, remember your Consensus team is here to support you. So, we want you to endeavor and try this on your own, or if you're not that comfortable with it, reach out to us and we'll certainly assist. So, Hannah, again, thank you for all that you're doing. Anything else you'd like to add as far as the KPIs and what we're preparing to see?
Yeah, I just want to add, thank you all for being here. I'm really excited just to show the KPIs. It's one of those underutilized tools. I think sometimes people don't know it's there, but then once you realize it's great, it's amazing, there's a lot you can do, and we'll see here shortly that it's quite user friendly. So you could start testing today after the webinar. So I hope you all enjoy.
Yeah. No, thank you. So a little bit of housekeeping. So we're going to be going on to run the presentation shortly, but we certainly encourage your feedback. So please take the survey on this. It's really important to us. It helps us guide how we're doing with our presentations, whether we're communicating correctly and effectively with all of you, and what can we do better, whether it be presentation format, the actual content. Please take that survey and let us know, because we really do look at these and use this as guidance going forward. So thank you. As we launch the presentation, everyone's microphone is going to be muted. You're welcome to use the Q&A to ask questions as we're moving along, and we'll address all of those at the end of the session here. And we're going to get started right now. We're going to turn off our cameras. We'll run through the presentation, and we'll join you on the completion to cover some of the Q&As. So thanks, everybody, and enjoy the presentation.
Let's now work with SAP's standard KPIs and dashboards. To find these, click the plus icon in the cockpit, either here or up above, and it will take us to a list of SAP's predefined KPIs and dashboards. Now let's walk through how to enable a few of these and how individuals can customize their cockpit to see what they would like. Navigating to the KPI tab, this now lists standard KPIs. If you're looking for a specific one, go ahead and type in a keyword up above and give it a search. By clicking this pin icon, it will pin this to this homepage that I see when we log into SAP. I'm going to clear this and keep scrolling through. And let's pin another one relevant to sales. After I've selected the ones I would like to use, press the back arrow, and now you can see it is here, available to see as soon as you log in SAP. If this is to your liking, click the check mark to save and update it. Perfect. So now I can see these KPIs displaying green if they are in the desired range, or red if they are not. Let's go back in and work with some of the dashboards. Using the pencil icon to edit, and then the plus icon to add dashboards. Let's enable the receivables aging, and let's also work with my sales amount. Something else you can do is you can actually rearrange these and put these in a different order while we're still in edit mode. Again, once we're ready and we like the way things look, we can save. One last thing to mention is that you can rearrange the size as well. So not only can you change the order, but you can make some of these dashboards a little bit larger and more easy to see. All right, and so with that, we have enabled a few of the standard KPIs and dashboards on our home screen right here, and this is customized per user. So what you've enabled here today is not what your teammate will see, and you can fully customize this to your liking. Before starting to work with KPIs and dashboards in SAP, we first need to ensure that we have the appropriate setup. First, we need to confirm that we're using an SAP HANA deployment. To do so, you can come to the Help area about SAP Business One. This is where it'll show you the installation number and the version you're running, as well as confirming that it is a HANA deployment. Next, we need to ensure that the cockpit is enabled. There's two places to do this. The first being under General Settings. Under the Cockpit tab, we can confirm that I have the Fiori style enabled here. After this, let's go under Tools, Cockpit, and validate that it has been enabled here. Lastly, we'll want to confirm the appropriate authorizations to give us access to the correct areas of the system. The first being Pervasive Analytics. This is the tool where you can edit or create new KPIs and dashboards. We will showcase this later on in the session, so let's ensure that my user has full authorization to this. The other area to consider is the Query Manager. When creating custom dashboards, you can utilize a custom query as a source of data. So if this is the case, let's also ensure that this area has full authorization. And with that set up, we can now get started. To create a KPI, navigate to the Pervasive Analytics. This can be found using the Tools dropdown or by clicking on the icon. Next, we'll navigate to the KPI Designer. To do so, click on New KPI. Now that we're at the KPI Designer, we can begin building the custom KPI. Our first choice is to choose which data source we will use. Do we want to use a user-defined query? Some of these options are system queries that SAP provides or custom queries that either consensus or the customer has built. Basically anything that is found under the query manager. The second option is to use a predefined calculation view that SAP provides. Let's work with the latter for this example. Specifically, let's open the sales folder, multi-document scenarios, and use the receivables aging dataset. When we click on this view, it provides an option of fields that we can drag and drop to build our KPI. So before we build it, let's give it a name. And by the end of this KPI building session, we will give it more of a description. To set the KPI value, we drag and drop. So I want to measure the overdue amount. So I will click, I will drag and drop, and data will automatically appear. I want to have a dimension to break the KPI down time-wise. So let's scroll down below and let's look for a value that has an icon that matches this time icon here. And this is how you know it's a valid option to drag and drop, is that the icon in the box must match what's presented over here. I'll drag and drop the posting date. And there's other options to break down the date, but we'll work with year for now. Next, we define the KPI goal. When we hover over the KPI, you can see the goal name description just contains generic text for now. So what I can do is specify what we are measuring. By hovering over it again, it now reflects with this new text. Next, we have to specify the goal value. So since we're measuring the AR aging, we want this to be a lower value. So let's set the goal at 100,000. This KPI is reflected in green, which means that it met the goal. But in this case, we actually want it to be a smaller value. The smaller value, the better. So let's scroll down and enable the smaller value is better checkbox. By doing this, it now knows that this amount is higher than our goal and therefore displays in red. To explain this a little bit further, let's click on status displaying, and you can see where these colors come from. We can specify the colors based on a percentage or a specific value. So for example, our ideal range could be $100,000 or less. An okay range could be 110, and anything over that should be displayed in red. We can also change the color of this more neutral section to yellow. We'll say okay. Moving on to the filters and parameters, we can specify the data a little bit further. So for example, maybe we want to see the AR aging for a specific business partner group. So let's find that field over here on the left. And we will drag and drop. It presents a list of valid values pulling from your SAP data, so we will use the customer group construction. We can see that the construction business partners are up to date. Let's remove this and try a different filter. Maybe there's a specific business partner that you want to look for. We can definitely do this. We can drag and drop business partner. And let's scroll down and find MaxiTech. This is one of the larger customers that we use in our demo database, so this is a great example. And with that, we can see this specific customer's AR aging status. So let's go back to the value settings. Let's finalize the description here. And let's save. The green bar below has confirmed it was saved successfully, so we can navigate back to home. And if we were to search in our KPI list, we can see it right here. To create a dashboard, navigate to Pervasive Analytics. From here, we will access the Dashboard Designer by clicking on New Dashboard. Similar to creating a KPI, the first thing we must do is choose our data source. We will choose the same data source that we did for the KPI example. After clicking OK, we can get started. To begin building the dashboard, we must first drag and drop at least one measure and one dimension to have it start to populate over here. So I want to measure the overdue balance over a certain time period. So I will drag and drop the document date, which will default to a yearly breakdown. If I don't want to see a yearly or quarterly breakdown and something a little bit more specific to AR aging, I'll X out of that and clear that, and I'll scroll down and I'll use the aging buckets instead. So now I can see the overdue balance broken down by the aging buckets. If we want to sort the data that's presented in the dashboard, you can click these arrows on the measure. By clicking the up arrow, it'll order ascending. The down arrow will show descending. And one more click will take it back to the default of no specific order. Now that we have our basic data prepared, let's go to the filters and parameters and filter out some unnecessary data. I want to run this by the aging date. And for the aging date, I want to use today's current date. In addition to that, I want to only see the aging buckets up to 90 days. So let's scroll up here, drop the aging buckets over, and now we have a predefined list to choose from. So I'll select everything up until 90 days. If I wish to filter the data even further, I could find a specific business partner to filter for. We will look for MaxiTech again in this example. If we don't want to see this for a specific business partner, we can definitely get rid of that very easily by clicking the X. And there's two last things before we wrap up the dashboard. First is the chart type. We have been working with the column charts. However, now that we have these aging buckets, we can use a pie chart to see what percentage of the AR aging belongs to which bucket. Another thing that the dashboard provides is a table view. So instead of the data being represented in a dashboard, you can also see it in a table by clicking this icon. Before we save our dashboard, there is one action that I want to program. So let's change it back to the column chart. And then let's decide to display this dashboard in the sidebars. What this means is that we can display the dashboard we just created on a specific SAP form or window. So in this case, I want to display this on the BP master data window. And now we must link the dashboard with the BP master data window. So let's choose one of the dimensions. And let's choose the field on the actual SAP form that we will link it to. So based on the BP code that's used in the dashboard and that is displayed on the BP master data window, the dashboard will refresh and present data only for that business partner. Let's go ahead and save this. And let's go back to home. So now under our dashboards, we can see the new one that we have added. And by navigating to the business partner master data, we can see there is an analytics tab on the UDF pane with our dashboard here. Since there is no business partner selected yet, it presents as blank. But if we were to go navigate to MaxiTech, the data will refresh and reflect MaxiTech's AR aging from 0 to 90 days.
Excellent. Excellent. Great presentation, Hannah. Thank you very much. It just shows you the power that you have in your hands to be able to enable KPIs and dashboards and widgets right now. So that was a great presentation. Yeah, I find it really good that all of this stuff is available to our users, everybody that's on this webinar right now, just out of the box. They can go in and select the KPIs and get them working on the dashboard, create multiple dashboards, no additional security or access or anything. That's all based on your user access as far as what you can build out with the KPIs and widgets. So right now we'll open up some of the Q&A questions that we have that we've gone through. I saw one question we had from Lee. Thank you for liking our transition music. We really appreciate that. And a couple of questions that we've had in the on the chat as well. That are you able to deploy KPIs to multiple dashboards, like the same KPI to multiple dashboards, or you can tailor each dashboard and have its own specific KPIs on them?
Yeah, so what we saw today was I was creating the cockpit for one specific user, but what you can do is you can actually make a template and then other users can use that same template. Or once you create a KPI or dashboard, your teammates, they can actually access that as well.
No, that's great. And with the multiple dashboards, because we have people that have multiple disciplines in here that are attending these meetings, the advantage of having the multiple dashboards is you could be doing accounts payable or accounts receivable, or you could be doing purchasing or some inventory functions, and have specific dashboards with their own KPIs that you can select from on your cockpit and have its own their own widgets and KPIs specific to that function. Correct?
Correct.
Nice. So some of the challenges is, all right, how do I get started with this? So, feel free. Everybody attending today will be sent a recording link to this. Please review this and go through it. It's simple to get started, but the more and more you get into this, the more and more you want to use it and start designing your own KPIs and widgets. So we've seen that you can use queries in here, and the queries that you write can be turned into KPIs. So if you're comfortable doing that, feel free to get started. If you need some help with us, please reach out. We don't want you to be frustrated. This is a tool for you. This is empowering and enabling you, but we don't want you to be frustrated. Your consensus team is here to help you, to guide you, give you best advice, and please ask for that as you start utilizing this tool. Again, this is the unsung hero of SAP Business One. This gives you power, visibility right out of the box. So please take time to use that. Marcelo, Clara, any other Q&A
Yes.
questions that we have?
Yes, we have a question. Thank you, Greg, and thank you, Hannah, for the presentation. We have a question that reads: can we edit existing KPIs and dashboards, or can we only create new ones?
Yes, so today in those examples, I created new ones from scratch. But what's even easier is you can edit an existing KPI. So let's say you have one that you like as a base that SAP has. Well, you can click on it and edit and you can tailor it. And the best part is you don't have to worry about overriding SAP's default one that they've created. SAP blocks that. So there's no chance that by you using their KPI as a base that you would override, risk getting rid of the
That's good
original.
to know. Yeah. That's
So
good
have
to
fun
know.
with it. Yeah, so use it
Yeah.
as a base and tailor it to your liking.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I have a little bit more advanced question. It says if we enable budgets, can we set KPIs against that to see if someone is going over budget?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I have actually never worked with KPIs regarding budgets. So we would first just need to make sure that that's a calculation view in the system, or we would
Okay.
have to create a user-defined query to create that. But if you have a user-defined query regarding budgets, then yes, we should be able to build KPIs dashboards for that.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah, and that
And
specific question, please reach out. You know, we have the question. We can follow up with you directly to get a little bit more specifics as far as what you're trying to do there.
great. Great. Thank you. And the last question we have for now is, can you force the KPI to a user's dashboard, or do they have to add the KPI to their own dashboard?
That's a really good question. My understanding is during the UI, because you can adjust the UI for different users, you should be able to deploy those KPIs and make them available. But we'll verify that and respond back to the group.
Okay. Okay, great. Yeah, I think there's a lot to discover about KPIs and dashboards and how everyone is going to customize it for their own purposes and goals. But thank you very much, Hannah. I think it was a fantastic introduction to KPIs and dashboards. Have fun, as Hannah mentioned. And if you feel like you need a little help, I think a session with one of our expert consultants might just get you on the right path to then continue on editing on your own and building more dashboards. But thank you very much, Greg and Hannah, for this content. It was fantastic. I
Yeah,
hope you
really,
enjoy.
I want to thank everybody attending. We know how busy you are, how much is going on with your businesses. We appreciate your time and attention. Please follow up with us on anything we can do to help. Use the dashboards, use the KPIs. It's really going to help you. It really, really will. So thanks everybody for your time and your attention today. We're going to close the session out now. Have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. Be safe, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.